So I'm going to talk about something that happened yesterday. Yesterday, I made an episode of the podcast talking about Valentine's Day, and I think it was a good episode. You should totally go and watch it when you're done watching this. But that wasn't actually the plan. I had actually recorded a much longer 30-minute episode about something completely different. It's going to be a topic I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to kind of revisit in the next couple of days. But I recorded a long episode, and then the audio was completely messed up. Like, I can give you like a small snippet from the episode. It's just me talking, and there's no audio coming in because there was some super ultra complicated problem with the recording and with the podcast microphone and with the connection into my phone. Because I record these from my phone, we're still, we're not fully at like maximum high budget for this podcast, as much as I've tried my best to improve it so far. So I spent all this time and I said some really, really good stuff, but like, it was gone. I lost it. I lost that file because there's no audio input into my phone. So it's just me talking, like it's just me mouthing words with no sound coming out of it. And it really pissed me off to begin with. And then when I finally calmed myself down, I was like, all right, I'm gonna switch the topic. I'm gonna talk about Valentine's Day. And then that kind of, that made yesterday's episode what it was. But I found that, like, there have been quite a few problems, like when it comes to this show, like just in my recordings on the technical side in the background, a lot of which that you guys haven't seen yet. So I'm gonna kind of like enlighten you a little bit on what's been happening in the background, because it's like I kind of sit here and I'm like, well, dude, like this podcast, no one really watches it, so why are we like, why does it have to be so ultra complicated? Why does so many things have to go wrong? Why can't I just have my half an hour video talking about a topic and me kind of articulating things in such a good way? Why can't I just have that super easy? Why do we have to go through all these setbacks, right? But this is not the first time it's happened. It happened at least a couple times, maybe earlier on. It was like problems with like I would do recording, and then I would look at it, there was no audio. Or this actually happened with the 100th episode of the podcast, which was supposed to be, this big milestone, and I had these super good ideas. The microphone didn't pick up at all. But I mean, I had audio. It wasn't as bad, but it was picking up audio from my phone, so it was way sloppier. And I've had problems with the camera. The camera would be blurry. I wouldn't even like realize it. And so then, like, sometimes I'd upload it. Sometimes it'd be too bad to even upload, so I'd have to redo it, re-record things. So instead of it taking, instead of it being like a 10 minute, like a 15-minute recording or like a half hour recording, it becomes an hour, or double or triple, because you gotta, I don't know, maybe I change the topic, which is what I did yesterday, or I try and repeat myself. But like repeating myself, I feel like it's not as authentic, because I'm kind of not giving you guys the original ideas that were part of the first recording that got corrupted or messed up in some way. So this happened quite a few times. This has been, quite a few problems that have been going on since the start of the show. For the most part, as we're like, what, 133rd episode, I think. Yeah, 133rd episode. I have notes here, so I have the episode number. The the show, like, for the most part, things have been pretty smooth. But then, once a week or once every couple weeks, there'd be some sort of big issue, and then it would be a huge problem, and then it would cause a lot of problems, a lot of annoyances, really. So then I'm thinking, it's like, dude, why can't it just be easy, right? Why can't, like, I'm not getting any views. Why can't I just have my half an hour rant about some important worldly topic, and then come back and look at it in the distant future, when when I finish the 365 days. And I truly, like, sit there and I think, and I'm like, God is definitely trying to tell me something. There is definitely a vision that I can't see. There's reasoning why all of these things happen that I can't see, that I can't really visualize, that I don't know about. But I like, my expectations personally for this show is, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna keep trying to improve it. I'm gonna keep trying to do things to make it as good as possible. But like, I think when the 365 days are over, like, if I'm at 1,000 subs, that's good. Like, if I'm at 1,000 subs on YouTube, that's good. And remember, this was an old account, so this account already had a boosted sub number to begin with. So, like, there's been virtually no growth. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I'm not expecting that growth to continue. So really, I'm just, I'm doing it for the love of the game, and for the few people that do watch it, which is not many, but the few people that do watch it and do enjoy this content. First of all, I appreciate you for it. Second of all, that's really all I'm doing it for. I'm not doing it for, to, like, as a viable option to gain popularity. I'm not doing it for that. But like maybe there is some sort of a bigger plan. Like I don't see the world where this thing blows up into something big because like I like to dream and I'm a dreamer, dream chaser, but I am very realistic with what I do, and I think with this show I'm just like all I'm going to have when I'm done the 365 days is the knowledge that I can, stick to something for a whole year without missing a day. So far I haven't, despite some crazy circumstances, being in another country and full travel days, all that kind of stuff. I managed to at least get something out every single day so far. So when I get to those 365 days, I have to look back and I have to say, that I was able to do it. But like I don't have anything else that's tangible. Like I don't expect myself to have grown a lot as an influencer, as a creator. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But like perhaps like but then it's like, okay, why have all these issues happen? Why have all these stupid things happen that just make me waste extra hours of my day? Like maybe there is a true test, right? You know that with setbacks and problems and like pains, pains lead to the greatest lessons, and setbacks, like like in life there's no pursuit that's going to be smooth sailing through it all, and there's always going to be problems, things that you can't control. But I'm thinking like, man, like it's just such a small thing that isn't really going to be popular. But like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is something God's trying to tell me that I can't grasp right now, that I don't really see his plan for the future of this show, or even just kind of who I am as a person beyond this show regardless of the success of it. Maybe there is something that I just can't see, that I can't really visualize, and every little tiny moment, every little tiny kind of angry moment is leading to kind of some like hidden personal growth that I haven't realized, because God has something greater planned for you, as you know, each and every day. Anything that you dream, God has something even greater planned for you. And it's a big lesson in perseverance. Like it's huge lesson in perseverance and resilience, that I wasn't just going to sulk all day, and after those setbacks happened, I wasn't just going to sulk and like just not upload an episode. Like I had to spend a few minutes just to calm down, because when I realized that there was no audio in the file, I'm like, all right, well, that's just annoying, that's just a waste of my time. But then when I calmed down, I figured it out, solved some of the issues. Like I put it into AI because it was such a hyper complex issue as to why the audio didn't pick up, that like honestly, like it's not worth going over the big details. So then, AI kind of helped me solve those issues, which is funny because I don't really use AI, but like I don't use it often. Maybe I should start using it often. I don't know. I'm not really in favor of that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's big. It's a big on, like, when things go wrong, you're still continuing to move forward. You're still continuing to do what is necessary, do what you're supposed to do, rather than let it kind of deter you and move you away from those things that you're trying to go and achieve, and the work that you're meant to do for the day. So I did well that I didn't let that happen. Obviously, it ended up being a decent episode in the end that I uploaded, but it was much shorter than what I had recorded before. In the next couple of days, you will find that the episode I upload in the next couple of days, one of them will be what I was talking about yesterday that got corrupted. So, stay tuned for that, right? And subscribe if you haven't yet. Follow on Spotify if you haven't yet, because it's going to be a good episode. And I think I had a lot of good points, and I talked a lot about a lot of very articulate things that I said that just kind of no one can see ever again. So hopefully I can recreate some of that in the second recording of that episode with of those concepts. So stay tuned for that. And as for the future of the show, I think that's really all I gotta say. Like, I don't see the pathway to something like that truly blows up, but God will probably and almost certainly surprise me with some sort of a thing that is completely different to what I had expected or anticipated. So I continue to be faithful, and I continue to believe that whatever happens, it will be glorious for God, and I'm going to keep trying to do that each and every episode that I have, to glorify God in what I do, what I say, and to spread the good word, the good news, the good words of the kingdom. That's kind of, that's the sub goal, and that's the main goal of this podcast, as well as all the other things that I so often talk about my personal development in that way. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep being consistent, of course. But remember, always, there is always a bigger picture that you can't see. That's the main lesson of this, and that is the reason why I'm talking about this today. There's always a bigger picture that you cannot see. There is something that is happening to you in each and every given moment that's shaping you into someone completely different, and it's giving you kind of good growth moments and great life lessons and things that in the moment you feel the pain, you feel the trouble, the confusion even, but at the end of it all, you look back on a lot. You will look back on all of those moments and those lessons, and find the lessons from them, and realize that these moments were incredibly necessary to become the person you are today. So remember that, like, always stay faithful. That there is a bigger picture, there is a bigger plan, there is something you can't see, there is something that God's trying to tell you that you don't see yet, that you don't visualize yet, but you will see soon. It will come to fruition. It will manifest itself very soon. So stay faithful and keep grinding. Stay resilient. Be consistent with what you do and the work that you do, regardless of whatever pursuit you're on, and trust that God will deliver, and He absolutely will. I'm fully confident in that. It's not going to be it's not going to be completely exactly what you were thinking, because God has something even greater planned. So I think that's the main lesson of me talking about this. And of course, I've talked about this concept quite a few times before on the show, but I think this is just a more direct reiteration of it, more so for myself, but also for you. If you missed the other episodes, or if you're just you're just kind of here and you're looking for that kind of knowledge, that yeah, there's always a bigger picture. So if you stay faithful, God will deliver in the best way possible. So continue to be faithful, continue to grow and improve, and continue to do the work that is necessary each and every day. Don't let setbacks and problems stop you from doing what is necessary for that day, and win as many days as you can individually. And the more you do that, the more likely it is that you are going to achieve something truly great in this life. So that is the main point of this episode, and that's why I just kind of wanted to talk and be completely honest and real and raw with like some of the things that are happening in the background, give you a little bit of like insight as to some of the issues that I go with uploading these podcasts. And I think I kind of covered it all. I think, like, and really honestly, when I look back on it, it actually like isn't that bad. It sucked in the moment because I wasted some time. Like, I had time wasted, and obviously, lots of good words that I said kind of, go into the abyss and no one is ever going to see them. But first of all, I'll probably be able to recreate at least the vast majority of it. And also, it's like, it's not that bad. Like, honestly, like, all podcasters do this. All content creators have some sort of a level of problem that happens in this type of a way, audio video corruption. That was another one, is that I had a couple of videos that literally in the middle of the podcast, like I would just start glitching, like my face would just start glitching. I'd still be talking, but I would just be like like something like that. I would do that, and it's like that would be the video, because I guess the file got corrupted for a bit. It would only be for like a 10-second snippet, but that was also something that pissed me off, because it's like, well, like, how does that happen? Why does that happen? There's literally nothing I could do to stop that. At least with the audio, you can say, okay, maybe I didn't test it fully. But with that, there's absolutely nothing I could do to stop that. That was also a big issue that was happening. But point is, all of these issues that are happening, they're completely normal for people that create content, and really they weren't that bad, because I was still able to make videos, and I was still able to put good stuff out there. Even if, again, there's going to be 365 podcast episodes. So at the end of all of this, so if like 10 of them or 20 of them, let's say, are kind of, there's some sort of corrupt thing involved in it, whether it be audio problems or whether it be video problems, that's still good. Like, that's still well over 300 episodes of very high quality content, which, as I grow, and this is 130 episodes in this, I hope that each episode is better than the last. That's what I'm going to continue trying to do. So point is, like, these problems are actually like not that bad when you look back at them. In the moment, I felt kind of distraught, but it's like you just kind of got to keep moving, stay positive, and move forward. So take the lessons from this episode, from my own experiences, to help you in whatever pursuit you're going on, to stay consistent regardless of whatever setbacks happen. There is a bigger picture, so always kind of have that knowledge and have that faith and strength in that fact, and you'll do very good for yourself, and you really will achieve very good things. I really believe that. So thank you for watching, thank you for being here. Again, subscribe if you're new, And if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and follow on Spotify. I leave the Spotify link in the description of the YouTube videos each and every day. I'm trying to grow that as well. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Like the video. Let me know what you thought of this, the things that I'm dealing with. Am I just a little bit spoiled, and am I kind of in the wrong for complaining slightly about these things? Let me know. Like, humble me in the way that you must, and I will continue uploading episodes every day. So, as I kind of conclude this next episode of the 365 podcast, I say this to you: continue to glorify God in all that you do, and I will see you tomorrow for the next episode.